not the NBA where it seems to be almost legal. Actually, that's not true. We got fined 50,000.
I don't have 50,000.
When you're making 25, $26 million a year, 50,000. How much you can get out of your ATM, one withdrawal. Okay, folks. Now, 6 p.m. Thursday, May 5th, 2022. Calling the regular Belle Plaine City Council meeting into session. Should be noted, Councilperson Peck's here, Councilperson Schlusselman's here, Councilperson Morrill's here, Councilperson Malcolm's here, Councilperson Landon's here, City Administrator Beck's here, City Attorney Rodnick's here, the City Clerk Walton's here, the Mayor's here. To remind all in attendance, including the council and staff, to please shut off your cell phones or put them on mute mode. With that being said, let's all rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's move to agenda item number 4, approval of consent agenda, council minutes of April 20th, 2022. Receiving and filing the minutes from the Belle Plaine Community Library Board of Trustees meeting of April 26, 2022, and bills received. Discussion or corrections? Need a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda, council minutes of April 20th, 2022, receiving and filing of minutes from the Belle Plaine Community Library Board of Trustees meeting April 26th, and bills received.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Resident comments. Any comments from the residents?
Any comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Also, thank you for bringing it up, the chickens again. So, thank you guys.
And speaking of that, let's go to item number 6. Discuss for possible passage of first reading of ordinance number 58, an ordinance allowing for the raising of urban chickens in Belle Plaine. I ask you to take out the new memo that you were sent. It's the same as the one I sent you, only the stuff in red has the lawyer's proposed material to add to it. So we will go through and just do it page by page, folks, to create the document you want. Well, let me say this first. Do I have a consensus that we're going to pass this? I don't want to spend an hour discussing this and then have you voting this ordinance down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does it look like I've got a 3 majority vote?
Mhm.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure before I've already spent a week and a half designing, and then the clerk spent a week redesigning what I designed. I shouldn't say designing. I stole everything from every other ordinance I could get my hands on. Might be 10 words in the whole thing that were original. Okay. So based on that stuff in black is what Sandy and I came up with. The red items are items that have been introduced by the city attorney. So I'm on page 1. I'm looking at her first addition. Application shall personally reside on the tract of land for which the permit is being issued.
I would think that would
Is
be
that really part of the,
applicant.
but is that really part of the definition though? We're just defining applicant. The requirements are actually back
Yeah,
under
that's,
annual
And
permit.
I think
requirements.
that's covered in that.
yeah.
Well, I started at the beginning and started making notes
Sure.
and comments
Yeah.
about things that I thought we were gonna have issues with. So if it's covered later on, I may not have gone back
It
and
is.
changed it, but
It is.
So you want me to throw that one out,
Yeah,
council?
It's stated
Yes.
later
as long
on,
as it's
so.
stated later.
Why, I knew I don't know whether it was Judy that reminded me of that before I wrote it. Somebody reminded me to make sure that was in the ordinance when we got done. All right, anything on the first full page that has no corrections or additions? Hearing from nobody, I'll go to page 3, which has several red items.
Oh, did you skip page 2? Oh, I'd like to bring up something on page 2, okay? Under the definitions, we have used the term hen house in this ordinance, but we have not defined hen house, although it would be the same thing as a coop. Because we've used the term hen house, do we have to define it? Or do we have to say coop / tractor / hen house means a cage, enclosure, or building used for housing and protecting chickens?
I think if you
I can
added
adjust.
coop
I can add,
and or hen house to paragraph number 3, that would cover it.
About tractor. Oh, that's in
It's
there,
on
isn't it?
there.
Okay.
and or hen house. Okay. Good point.
So what are we adding?
On number 3,
Coop and or hen
hen
house.
house means
Got it. Anything else on that page? Why are you using 2 copies?
Because you sent us one in a timely fashion so I could write comments on it, and now we have a new red line.
Jesus Christ.
I sent mine out on Tuesday.
Oh. Well,
Not like I sent it today.
okay,
I sent mine on Monday.
yeah, I read yours.
Anything else on that page? I see she has notes.
On 5802, number 8 is compliance, and then it's restated as 9A. Just seems like it's redundant. I don't know if you
yes,
need it
I
twice.
noticed that too. She skipped, I think she skipped it.
Maybe skip.
You're
it.
not, you're
Oh.
way ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're not, we're going by pages.
All right,
way ahead.
Getting the hammer.
Settle down there.
So page 2 is good. Is that what we're saying?
Now that we got hen house on there,
And Mary, just so you know, I didn't see this till I got the council packet, so that's why I did it as soon as possible and emailed it back to everybody.
all right, I'm turning the page to page 3, which has a lot of red.
And I've got something before you read too. On D, the tract of land to be permitted shall contain only one single family dwelling, and yet over on zoning districts allowed.
Or.
That's 5804, number 2, it says, or 0 lot line duplex.
But I think we define in there that they have to have a definite boundary on the duplex, doesn't it say that?
You just mean you want that verbiage added to be,
To be more clear, because this says in D, one single family dwelling. And then it might be confusing because later
so add
on,
that 0 lot line.
right,
So it'll say what? Just add 0.
Lot line duplex.
To D,
to D, but then do we need the definition of, that's in 58042 for the 0 lot line duplex to go along with that?
Probably not, it's probably defined in their zoning code.
As long as
Well,
it's there
and it's
somewhere.
defined in,
Right, it's there.
It's already
If you
defined
can
there.
Move it or.
And I
keep
know,
it there.
yeah, it was defined somewhere else in there, I know I put it in there. Okay, am I ready to go to E?
Well, I guess if, in paragraph D, it says occupied by the permittee, is that where we were talking? That it's defined in here versus where I said that they need to personally reside on?
No, it's
further down
later
there,
on. Jennifer has added proof of notification attached to application.
That's good, but isn't it also say that in I? That she added?
We could probably take it off of E and leave it in I.
Okay, take it off E.
Do we want to say that in E, the applicant has provided written notice to the residents, because it does say that down below. The application must, in I, application must contain the name and address and all adjoining property owners and a copy of the notification that was mailed.
Could you just get a signature from your
So what I'm
neighbors
saying
and that'd
is,
be good enough and not mail
So
a
I would
letter?
say yes, I would say written is probably good,
has
but
provided,
you make a good point too, that maybe I can be changed to say
Like if
notification that was mailed / given.
Like if Lyle's my neighbor, I go to him, Lyle, I plan on getting chickens, will you please sign this paper stating that I've given you a letter or whatever, and then that would be sufficient.
So where are you hoping to put that?
Okay.
Down in I.
Properties, or,
If it's too confusing, I'm just asking, I don't know what.
basically it ends up being a consent to service
That
that
the
they would sign,
notification was mailed /
or a written consent to service is attached.
A written consent to service? Are you getting that?
Because if I mail out a lawsuit and I know the attorney on the other side or the party on the other side, and they're going to accept service, and they'll sign it and they'll file it, and I don't have to send the process server or the sheriff out to see them, so.
Okay, we got that one. Is there anything else you want to change on any of those red items there on that page?
Just, on H, what if they want to move it once they're approved or the coop is approved on their property and they want to move it at a later date? What does that do with I there? Because it won't be in the location that they're specifying.
Well, considering if you get one of those mobile ones, you take that into the bedroom and guard your chickens all night.
you can.
I think maybe
Could we say in the,
maybe that should be part of the application, that if they intend on having it in more than one spot, they gotta tell you where those spots are.
I think so, because, I mean, it says you've got to maintain certain requirements from different buildings and,
Mhm.
you know,
But I mean, like, I remember Tracy said, we could put it here, we could put it here, we could put it here. And all of those meet the requirements,
Mhm.
and I think up front they should say, we're gonna put it here, and or here, and or here.
Well,
Give me-
They would all
change H
have-
from application contains scale drawing of the property and the locations of the chicken facility.
location,
Okay.
parentheses.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
Anything else on this page?
Is adjoining defined in here? Is that just nothing
What-
adjoining property owners? So that would not include people separated by an alley, correct?
No, it would. Those are considered adjoining properties.
Okay, that's,
Oh, you mean, should we put that in definition?
just trying to get a clear definition of what adjoining is.
Oh, you mean, do I have to notify the guy across the alley?
Yeah,
I would say yes.
Yes, that's considered an adjoining property. Because the people that are responsible for maintaining the alleys, the city doesn't maintain alleys. They're responsible for mowing them and stuff, because those are adjoining properties.
So we need to go back and put it in the definition or define it on.
I would,
Put it in definitions.
yeah.
Where you put it.
I'll put it under definitions somewhere.
Jennifer, on I for notification was mailed to adjoining property owners. You're not requiring like sending a certified letter and having it to where it's signed or returned signed.
That's
Or
up
is-
to you guys. I just know that one of several of the ordinances we looked at when it was first brought to us and that I looked through the packet on, said you had to notify the owners. And one of them said you had to have consent from the adjoining property
Because
owners.
it's just notifying, not requiring approval.
No, I
Right.
didn't put that in.
Right.
So I mean,
But I
usually
just, I guess I'm just thinking down the road,
if
if
they,
someone,
you know,
like Garrett said, he would get a signature and have that
signatures would
on
be
file.
fine. I think, requiring certified mail, because that's how, when Sandy sends out delinquent water notices and we send out mowing bills and all that, we send stuff certified mail.
I mean,
So
this,
then there's
to me,
proof
to
that
me,
it's at
this,
least-
this.
Yeah, but
this-
that is really tough for the average homeowner to do
I
certified
know.
mail. Because our post office works from 10 to 10:30 on Tuesday.
Yeah. But I
It's
just felt
easy
there was
for
a
us
little
to do
wiggle
it,
room
but-
there.
For the average homeowner,
I mean, it would be nice to be able to show that you've, mailed it out and have, even if your neighbor, if Garrett mails it to Lyle and Lyle doesn't go pick it up, that's Lyle's problem, but he can at least show proof that he sent it according to what the ordinance says.
But you get the same thing if you walk up and say, Judy,
Sign
can you just tell me that you received it? Doesn't say you're happy,
You just said
doesn't say
you
you like
signed
it, just says, I've told you. Right? That does the same thing.
It does the same thing. And it would be great if all the neighbors would talk to each other.
yeah.
But we know that doesn't happen.
I would guess most people know who their problematic neighbors are. then.
Well, I can think of a few properties in town that,
Don't talk to couriers. They lie.
It's not.
So what did we conclude with that?
Well, I felt it was a
Consent
little
service.
vague in that you've got probably a problem down the road of, I wasn't told. And then, yeah, you were. Well, no, I wasn't.
Well, but it's not a monumental
I know.
problem. They can't stop you from doing it. So I just think we're making it more complex than it has to be.
Possibly.
I think the complexity of this ordinance is very aware as you go through the rest of it.
Well, now we've got E, and then it's further embellished on by I about notifications. Is it possible to merge them somehow?
Yeah.
So just merge I and E together in one.
Yeah, but right now they're separated and
Noted. Anything else on this one? Moving to the next page.
Sandy, I'll send you mine with my red lines in it. In word for version. Then you want to read that.
Send it to me in Word.
I'll send it to you in Word one time.
Thing hides in my computer every time I go to try and ship because I tried to send it to the mayor's group today because this is the topic of discussion. All right, the page we're on now, number 7, has 2 changes in it or 2 additions.
I actually have a change on this page. When
What's,
somebody was talking about duplicated and compliance, it is duplicated. I moved it and didn't get it deleted from the original spot, so I will delete A and it will stay as number 8.
What are you deleting?
Under 9A,
Oh,
which is
okay.
the same as number 8.
It's identical to number 8.
Oh, okay.
I had moved it and didn't get it.
All right, go back up to the ones Jennifer, request in writing shall be submitted to the city clerk within 10 days of the negative decision of the appeals officer.
Can you help me understand, how's that different than the 10 days? It's just a few lines up from that?
Because it says that they may appeal the decision to the city administrator within 10 business days of the receipt of the application of the notice of decision.
Okay.
So after they appeal it to the city administrator and Steve issues his appeal,
I just thought maybe it was.
and I would say also looking at that days for the appeal to the city administrator, not 10 business days.
Okay.
So we're consistent.
Bottom